Okay, so here we have the setup. In the game, you'll have 2 decks for the Sith and the Jedi, and then you'll have these 5 track cards that show the stages numbered 1 through 5. And then you both get these cool pewter figures of Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul, just as a representation to move down the track. And the goal is you're going to have rounds, which you play 3 battles in a piece, and in these 3 battles, if you win more than your opponent, you will get to advance your figure closer to the end. And if you make it to the very last final duel card, which is number 5, before your opponent does, you will win this and change the fate of the galaxy forever between good and evil. I don't know. Either way, I guess that's only if Darth Maul wins here. But these are some really cool looking figures. The books, the little pamphlet that. You know, this is an old game, 1999 Hasbro, I think. Maybe an old, I don't know, but it's pretty old. But this little, pamphlet is just crazy. There's no credits for who designed it, actually. But yeah, it was put out by Hasbro. I actually found this at an antique shop, so this is really a cool little game, guys. And the reason why, of course, I'm redoing this video because I had it on my site earlier, but my camera was done a certain way, and I'm about to go see the Han Solo movie tonight. So in honor of that, I'm kind of show you how to do it again. So all that there is in this game is there's symmetrical decks. They do basically the same things. The cards are valued. You'll see in here that they have special powers. You'll have numbered cards listed from 1 through 5 for your attack. And then you'll have abilities like that says block, that says use the force, and then it'll say, oh, use the force lets you draw 2 cards. The Sith Lord, you get to draw 2 cards and then immediately play 1. Sorry about the glare. Okay, so in this game, both the starting players will draw 7 cards. So if I can still count, which I can barely do apparently, there's the bad guy, 7 cards, or good guy, I guess, if you look at it that way. And then Qui-Gon Jinn's cards here. And then when you have your cards, you're going to look at them and see, you're going to prepare 3 battles. You guys can decide whether you're going to do your battles this way or this way, but I usually let the new player do left to right. Like let's say I'm playing Qui-Gon Jinn. I will let them place their battles like this because it's easier for me. I've played the game, so I'll move right to left, so it doesn't really matter. So basically, you pre-plan your attack, like with cards, you're going to do like, hey, I want to start off with a 3 attack. My opponent doesn't know that. I'm going to start off with a special ability block. I might put that there. And then I'll have a little secret thing you guys don't even know. And just for fun's sake, I will randomly put 3 battles here. All right? And then when both players are ready, the fun will begin. You say, hey, battle 1 starts, you both flip it over. All right, so right off the bat, we have a 3 attack, and we have a special ability, which says draw 1 card, play it immediately. So that's what's going to happen to resolve any special abilities right off the bat. If at the same time at revealing, both players have a special ability card, a special card, they are both discarded into the discard pile. And then they're ignored, and then they will play new cards simultaneously. And if the simultaneous cards are ever played at the same time, like let's say if you have a power, like if this had been a 3 attack, matching this 3 attack, well, they're tied and both players play new cards, then at the same time, if they're special cards, they will both be discarded, and then you'll play new cards again, if possible. Okay, so anyway, so this card will draw, the Sith Lord will play 1 immediately, so it's a 1 attack. So what you do is to determine who's winning this battle. We have 3 attack versus 1 attack. So the Jedi, Qui-Gon Jinn, is winning right now. So you have a choice now as the Sith player. You can say, hey, I'm either going to try to take the lead or I can concede this battle. Because at the end of these 3 battles, whoever has won the most, like if it's 1 or 2 or 3, however many they won, then they will get to advance their track. Now, if you win 2 out of 3 instead of advancing, if you win all 3, you can advance your character 2 spaces. So if you win 1 or 2, you'll advance your character 1 space at the end. So anyway, let's just say, for fun's sake here, he plays a 3 attack. Now that gives him a total of 4 attack. Now he's considered in winning, and so now Qui-Gon Jinn has to go, oh man, what do I want to do? He says, oh man, I don't know. I got some good cards here, but I don't know what he's got. So I'm going to concede this battle just you know, because he's like, hey, he's used some resources, so maybe that's not a bad idea. So the player who concedes a battle or loses that particular battle will move their cards to the discard pile, and the pile of cards here will denote that they have won that one battle. Okay. All right. So the second battle will now begin, and they'll both flip it over, and they're both special abilities, block versus block. And block has a pretty cool ability. It says right here that immediately discard or cancels any of Darth Maul's cards. This one cancels any of Qui-Gon Jinn's cards. Place the canceled card in their respective discard piles. So like if this had been played during the first battle, he could say, hey, ditch that 3, get rid of it. And that's pretty powerful because that changes how the order works. But since both of those were played at the same time, they will be discarded, and both players will randomly grab a card from their hand and reveal it. And now we have 2 attack versus 1 attack. So Darth Maul is losing, so he needs to say, hey, man, I just need to win one more to advance of attack. So he's going to play a card. So he's kind of limited, but he's going to play a force card. Use the force, he gets to draw 2 cards. Now he is still losing 2-1. Now, I may have mentioned this before. I can't remember. I talk a lot. But if these numbers are ever tied, let's say they're like this had been a 2, and this, then for a tiebreaker, whoever has the most cards in the line. So like if there's a total attack of like 6 and a total attack of 6 over here, you would look to see who has the most cards played, and they are considered winning that battle, and the other player would have to play a card from their hand or concede that battle. Okay, so Darth Maul says, I did draw something. So I got a 2 attack, which that will move him up to 3-2. So Qui-Gon Jinn will look at his hand and goes, I cannot lose this battle. But to be a little mean, I'm going to play this card, which is Lifedrain. And Lifedrain says, pick any one card from Darth Maul's hand and discard it. And as far as I can tell, that's going to be random because we found it was too powerful to actually look at someone's hand and discard it at this point of the game. So Darth Maul looks at his hand. He's like, wow, this is pretty mean. He's only got 2 cards left. So he's actually going to discard a 2 attack card because he's still winning this battle. So he has 1 card left. Well, Qui-Gon goes, okay, well now I will play a 3. So he's winning 5-3. And Darth Maul looks at his hand and he says, you know what? I'm going to concede this battle. So he discards his cards, and now it's 1-1. And they go to the third one. And even if it was 2-0, you still play the third battle because if the person wins 3, they will advance their character 2 spots instead of 1. So that's the whole reason why you get to battle the whole time. Okay, now we have a 3 attack to a 1 attack. That's perhaps why Darth Maul passed on that first one, was because he knew he had a big attack coming in. So Qui-Gon's down to 1 card. He says, guess what, buddy? I have a 3 attack. So he makes him 4. Well, all the Sith Lord here, Darth Maul, would need is a 2 or better. Unfortunately, he does not have that. He has a special ability card in his hand, and if he had been losing this battle, it would have been great because it says pick 1 card from Qui-Gon Jinn's hand and discard it, but it is not useful here, so he has to concede this battle, and so he will discard that. So Qui-Gon Jinn wins this battle 2-1, so he will move his character up here. All cards are discarded in that round, and now a new round begins. Now the interesting thing is, in this game, since Darth Maul didn't discard his card, you don't discard any cards in your hand. You get to add them too. So you would get 7 new cards, which would give Darth Maul 8 cards in his hand, which makes that really, really nice. And so, of course, he would just only get 7 over here. And you would place out 3 new cards for each battle. That's battle 3, 2, 1. And then you would start again. So sometimes early on, I've won a few games because I've decided to concede because I had bad cards in my hand. Maybe you just had a bunch of 1s or something, but you could build your hand up between the rounds to make a comeback, and I've done that a few times. Well, that's basically the simple end of it. So when someone finally moves to the 5th duel card, advances to it, they win the game, and that's how simple it is to play. I did have 1 more card in this game, but it's just a little card that I made up for my dice matrix that I hand out if I go to conventions or whatnot. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the Solo movie. Me and my gang are going to watch it tonight. And until next time, keep the dice rolling.
Bom, 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 bom.